and girls, welcome to Clubland's After School Cookery Packs. I'm Laura from Clubland. This is your first week of your healthy cookery packs. You're going to have 5 weeks of packs to make a healthy recipe at home as a family. So you can pick your packs up on a Thursday between 3:15 and 5:30. Okay, this week's pack, your first pack, is Oatmeal Fruit Muffins. So you'll have it in your big bag, okay, and you're going to collect some items along the way to make your own cookery storage box. So you've got lots of things that you can cook with in the future. Okay, so in this week's pack, you've got a mixing bowl, a measuring jug, and a wooden spoon. Okay, so keep all these things because in the future packs you might need these to make the items. Okay, also you've got the recipe card. So on the front is showing you exactly what you need to do with the instructions, and on the back is a step-by-step guide of what it should look like at each stage. Okay, now we've given you a Polly Pocket to put in the first recipe. Keep the Polly Pocket each week and then you can add them in to make your 5 recipes. Okay, so then by the end you'll have 5 recipes and you'll have your own cookery set each week adding to it. Okay, so also in your cookery pack you've got all your ingredients which are in foil containers labelled what they are. Okay, so we've got butter, flour, baking powder, cinnamon, sugar, and oats and raisins. Okay, you've got your muffin cases, okay, and an egg. Okay, and then if you don't have a muffin tray to put it in, then you can just use a normal flat baking tray and put the cupcake cases on there. Okay, but if you've got one of these, then you can put them in the slots that they're designed for. Okay, so I'm going to just go through the recipe with you. Alright, you don't have to watch the video as you do it, you can watch it first or you can do it along with me if you like, okay? All the ingredients have been weighed out already for you, but if you've got either a digital scales or a manual scales at home, if you want to try measuring it out, okay, you can use one of these, and then the measurements are in grams and for the liquid, millilitres on the side of the recipe, okay? So if you want to try and measure it out first, that's up to you, but they are measured out ready for you, okay? So the first step of the recipe, before you start, make sure you've got clean hands, okay? Washing your hands, soap and water, and make sure the surface is clean, which is what I've already done, okay? And I've put my apron on, and you will get an apron as well. So the first instruction says to soak the oats and raisins in the milk. This is best done for at least 20 minutes. Soaking the rolled oats makes the muffins soft and fluffy. Soaking the raisins makes sure they are soft and juicy and packed with sweetness. Okay, so I've already done this and I've got these prepared, but I'll just show you what to do. Okay, so using your measuring jug that you've already got, you need 375 ml of milk. Okay, so find on the right hand side, they're going up in 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, okay? And then they're going up in 25, so you need to go 25, 50, 75. Okay, make sure you do it on a flat surface then once you've nearly got to 375, so you know you've got the exact amount. Okay, and then you're going to use your oats and raisins into your mixing bowl. And then you're going to add your milk. Okay. Give it a little stir. And then you need to just leave that sit for 20 minutes so the oats and the raisins soak up the milk. Okay, and they're nice and soft and juicy, ready to go in the mix, okay? So put that to one side while you carry on with the rest. Okay, next stage says heat the oven to 180 degrees, okay? Now with all of this, you might need some adult support, okay? Especially when you're using the cooker and different things. So make sure you've got your parent or somebody with you to help you. So heat the oven to 180 degrees, and then it says prepare a 6-cup muffin tray. Grease it or line it with paper cups, okay? So because you've got these paper cups, you don't need to grease it. But in future, if you don't have any cups, you can just grease the tin, okay? So like I said, if you haven't got ones with cups in your baking tray, just use a flat one and put the cups on the flat one, okay? So I'm going to put these in ready. Okay, so you've got 6 in there. Next part is the dry ingredients, okay? So it says flour, baking powder, cinnamon and sugar. We need to put that into a large mixing bowl, okay? And then use either a whisk or a fork to combine them, Okay, so if you haven't got a whisk at home, you can just use a normal fork, okay? And all your dry ingredients are ready in your container. So there's flour, baking powder and cinnamon, okay? And then the sugar's separate. So you need to add this into a mixing bowl. Flour your baking powder and your cinnamon into a bowl. You can see the cinnamon's on the top. Okay, and then you can add your sugar as well. And then you need to give that a good mix to combine it all. So for those of you who don't know what it looks like, this is baking powder, okay? You only need a little bit to help it rise. Okay, so we've already added this into your flour, and this is the cinnamon, okay, that we've already added into your flour, and this smells lovely. So as soon as you open your container, you'll smell the cinnamon. Okay, the next step says, if using butter, you need to melt the butter. Okay, now the butter is in these foil containers, and it is quite soft already, but you will need to melt it. Now, you can't put the foil containers in the microwave, okay? They're not suitable for the microwave. So you'll need to use another dish if you're going to melt it in the microwave. Alternatively, you can put it on a saucepan on the hob, okay? So like I said, have an adult support to help you. And I'm just going to melt the butter. Okay, so I've melted the butter in the microwave. I melted it for 30 seconds on high, and then stirred it, and then put it on for another 30 seconds, okay? And the consistency you want it is so that it is liquid, okay? So that's your butter melted. And then the other wet ingredients that we've got is the egg, okay? So we need to whisk the egg first, okay? So if we, you can either hit it into the bowl, but this is a plastic container, so we'll need a knife. So if you're using a knife, just be careful. Get an adult to help you. You crack it into the bowl. Okay, and then using a fork, or if you've got a whisk at home, you can use a whisk. Just beat the egg, okay, until the yolk and the white is all combined. Okay, and then the recipe says with the wet ingredients, we need to add it to the soaked oats. So these are the oats that's been soaking for 20 minutes, along with your raisins. So they should have soaked up most of the milk, most of the moisture that's already in there. Okay, so I'm going to add the butter in first. Add in half, give it a stir, and then add in the other half. You want to make sure that it's all combined in the mix. And then we need to add in the egg. Now with the egg, don't add it all in one go, because you don't want the mix to split or scramble. Okay, so add in a little bit. Use either a wooden spoon or a normal spoon and just combine the egg into the mix. Okay. And then you should have this consistency. Okay. So after you've added the wet ingredients into the soaked oats, you need to add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients, okay, and gently combine the mix, okay. So as again, like we did with the egg, don't add it all at once, a little bit at a time. Mix it all together. Okay, and you should feel the mixture getting thicker as you keep adding the flour, the baking powder, the sugar, and the cinnamon. And you can smell the cinnamon as you're mixing it in. Okay, just combine it all. The mixture should be a lot thicker, a lot easier consistency to put into your moulds. Okay, so there's your finished muffin mix. Now it says portion batter into the muffin tray. So like I said, if you've got one of these trays with the cups in, you can add your muffin cake cases into the trays where they sit. But if you haven't, don't worry, you can use a simple baking tray, just add them to the baking tray. Make sure there's a little bit of a gap so there's room if they expand on the flat tray. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 out. This recipe should make enough for 12. Okay, so I'm just going to put 6 in. And you can portion the batter into the muffin tray. Now the pictures are on the back to help you to see, but with the muffin mix you need to make it 2/3 of the way up. Okay, so over halfway, so you have enough mix in the muffins. Okay. Fill them 2/3 of the way up. Just do 3 to show you. And then these are ready to go in the oven. Okay, so it says optional is to sprinkle some rolled oats on the top with a little brown sugar. That's just to make it nice and golden on the top, but you'll need the bigger oats to put on the top. You might also, when they come out of the oven, want to put some icing sugar on there, or decorate it how you like. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes and allow to cool for 5 minutes before taking them out of the cupcake cases. Okay, so these go into a 180-degree oven, 20 to 25 minutes. I've cooked them earlier, okay, and I put them in for 20 minutes and they came out like this. Okay, so as you can see, they've rised nice in the cupcake cases. When they come out of the oven, just give them a little press, see if they're nice and spring up and they're ready to come out. Okay, don't open the oven for the first half, okay, otherwise they'll sink. After the first half, give them a little peek and then push down to see if they're ready to come out. Okay, you'll need an adult to help you with the oven part. Use oven gloves, okay, and allow to cool for 5 minutes before you take them out. These have cooled, okay, and then you can eat and enjoy. So if you fancy changing up the recipe a bit, you might want to put blueberries in instead of raisins. There's nice banana muffins you can make. Decorate the top, okay, so have a little try. Hope you enjoy, and next week we're going to be doing something savoury.